Welcome my people to the SillyMMA YouTube channel. Today we'll be predicting the top 5 in each UFC division in 2 years time. So it's currently May 2025, so we'll be looking at May 2027 and seeing and try to predict where the divisions are by then. Please leave a comment, please subscribe, please like the video, hit the noties and all that. And also alongside as the top 5 in the champ, we'll also be listing some honourable mentions which I think could be in that area. So first we're going to look at the rankings and what it is currently now, and there it is on your screen. There's not going to be too much change, but you can see big prospects will develop themselves, I believe, by that time. So let's get into the first division, the 125-pound division. So the flyweight division, I believe that Alejandro Pantoja will definitely still be champion in 2 years time. I mean, this man has already lapped the division, wins over Cap, Moreno, Royval, Kai France, Steve Usyk. This man has done it all at 125, and I don't think that will change. I think he could go up, lose a fight to Merab, but he will always remain the flyweight champ as long as he's around, in my opinion, unless maybe he gets to the older end of his career. Then number 1 contender, I have Manel Cap. I believe it won't be long, maybe just like a year until he fights for a belt. I think he'll lose and then get a win, and then in 2 years time be sitting in that number 1 contender spot. I have Brandon Moreno, you know, not winning the big fights, maybe he loses a title fight, but maybe just lingering, doing the wins that he has to get, but not being able to get right back to the top. Similar situation with Mr. Kai France. I think Joshua Van would have really solidified himself by then. 3 or 4 or 5 more good wins. I mean, that man is very active. He could go all the way, maybe, but I think even if he reaches the title fight, he will lose, which keeps him in that 4th ranked position. And I think Steve Usyk, I've not got any reasoning. I just believe he will still be there at 125, and he's 9th right now ranked in the division. And I think he will be up in the top 5. And for the reason, the people that are not in the top 5 in this list that are in the top 5 now, I think Amir Albazi, I think he's very overrated, and I think he will drop as time goes on. And you can see Tatsuro Taira and Brandon Royval, they're not in the top 5 right now, but I do believe they're going to be circulating around. They could be in the top 5. I've got them on a mentionable list alongside Ramazan Temirov, who is a very good flyweight prospect. I imagine him just outside the top 5 in them years time. You could see Lonnie Kovner maybe approaching the top 10 at that point, but that's my opinions for the flyweight division. Okay, so into the next division, the 135-pound division, the Bantamweight division. And I believe Merab will still be champ. I think he will be approaching his later years. But Merab Dvalishvili, this man's already cleared out of the division. He's beaten 3 of the top 5 I've got listed there. He's beaten the who's who, to be honest, at Bantamweight. I think Nurmagomedov will be the number 1 contender. I think Nurmagomedov is underrated. I think he's a very, very good fighter. I think people rate him, but I think people are looking past him since that loss. I think he could beat Merab in a rematch, but I see Merab winning. I have Peter Yan, similar situation to Brandon Moreno last time out. I think just doing what he needs to do, winning the wins. He's still pretty young, Peter Yan. Sandhagen, similar situation. The gatekeepers for the top 3, top 2 area, in my opinion. I think Sean O'Malley, he won't be number 1 like he is now, but I just think he won't be picking up wins like he has been in recent time. I think he'll lose to Merab at UFC 316. He might lose again, pick up a win, and just that sort of cycle. I don't think he'll ever make it back to the top of this division. And hate it or love it, I think Mario Bautista, the biggest knob in the UFC, will be in the top 5 by then. And I think he could be in the top 5 earlier. I think Mario Bautista is a good fighter, but I don't know. I think he lost that fight to Aldo. Anyway, honourable mentions, Marcus McGee. I think this man's a really good prospect, and I think in 2 years time he would have had enough time to develop and be circulating around that 8th and 7th area of the Bantamweight division. Song Yadong, good prospect. He could be number 5 in my opinion, or maybe even number 3 instead of Sandhagen. But Bantamweight division is so stacked. I mean, everyone is so good. And Vinicius Oliveira, I don't think he'll be top 5, but getting into that top 10 territory, I think he will start to be there. And that is my Bantamweight picks. Into the 145-pound division, the Featherweight division, I think John Lord Silva would have become champion by now. I mean, this man is on a race to go champion. I think he would have been champion by now for a while, to be honest. I think he could pick up the belt within a year or so, but I think he'll pick it up around a year and a half away. And Volkanovski is the man he would have knocked out, and I think Volkanovski will be sitting at that number 1 spot in the division, waiting for the big retirement fight in Perth, wherever it may be. And that's why I think he'll still be lurking. Otherwise, the man should be retired, and he could be retired at this point. I was hesitant to put him in the rankings, so I used a washed up old pick of him against Islam. But yeah, that's the explanation for the number 2. I've got Movsar Evloev. I don't think Movsar Evloev will become champion. I think he's next for Volk. and we'll see that within the next 6-7 months. I think Volk beats him. I don't think he becomes champ. I don't think UFC will give him a shot after that, especially within the next 24 months. So I have him lurking around number 2. Diego Lopez, I think this man is a very good fighter, but I don't think he'll ever get to the top of the featherweight division. But he's still young. He has time. I have Diego Lopez there. I think Lerone Murphy, I love Lerone the Miracle Murphy, the Iceman. I think Murphy's a very good fighter, and I think by then he would have been a top 5 staple. And also Aljamain Sterling, I believe Aljamain Sterling is being overlooked at the minute. I mean, this man is one of the bantamweight goats alongside Marab and Cruz, Cejudo. I'm just naming every champ on this one. But you know what I mean, he's very good. I think he'll stay consistent, getting a little run, take some setbacks to the top 2, Evloev again, Lopez maybe, and that's for the top 5. I believe that Yair Rodriguez will leave the division. I don't think Yair Rodriguez will stay in the rankings area, but I've got him on the honourable mentions list. I haven't got Max Holloway or Topuria here because, I mean, they shouldn't even be ranked right now because they are not featherweight contenders anymore. And on the honourable mentions, I've got Yusuf Salal, you know, the runner from Calvin Cater, and I've also got Kevin Valejos. I think it might be a Vinicius Oliveira situation where he's just entered that top 10, maybe one big fight away, because that man's boxing is very, very good. And that's my thoughts on the 145 division. 2 years from now, let's go on to lightweight and 155 pounds. 155 into lightweight, I think Ilia Topuria will definitely still be champion. I mean, this man knocked out Max Holloway and Volkanovski back to back. This guy is a motherfucker, bro. This man is a real fighter. I think he beats Islam, to be honest, and I think he'll just reign at lightweight. I don't think he'll be too active, and that's why I think he'll hold the belt, beat Islam, maybe get 1 or 2 defenses. I have him there. I've got Armin Sarukian, number 1 contender. I think he'll be beating who he needs to beat, but just not getting past Topuria. I think Paddy Pimblett would have cracked it by then. I think he would have maybe taken a loss to Topuria in a title fight and just been lingering, waiting for his next fight in the division. I've got Max Holloway. I think he'll be doing bits. I mean, Max Holloway is still young, man. People forget, man. Them calf kicks now. But I think Max Holloway is still young. Like, he's good. He's got time. And he's Max Holloway, you know what I mean? I think he'll still be there at lightweight. And you may be thinking, Nurmagomedov, who the fuck is Nurmagomedov? Habib retired time ago. Yes, this is Usman Nurmagomedov. I think with Makhachev, I mean, supposedly moving up to 170, that's what I've got here. I think he would come in from Bellator and just pick up a big win in that top 5 area, maybe over one of the top 5 contenders at the time. Holy voice cracks, man, I apologise for that. And I think he would have just been lingering there in that area. And I have Charles Oliveira. I wasn't really confident on this one, but I've got Charles de Bronx just staying there in the 5, just doing what he needs to do in the division. Honourable mentions, I've got Joel Alvarez. I would have put this man number 5, but I've heard rumours, I mean, that he's moving up to welterweight, so I wasn't sure. And he has just pulled out against Benoit St. Denis. I've got Grant Dawson. I think Grant Dawson is very, very good in my opinion. You could put a down hooker there instead. I've got Mauricio Wolfie. I mean, you know Mauricio Wolfie is. That man is a very, very good fighter. He's got kicks, he's got everything. I mean, it's a dangerous game. He could be in the top 5 by then. But this is what I've got for the 155 pound division. Onto 170. Onto 170 pounds. The welterweight division, I have Islam Makhachev as the UFC champion here. I think he moves up. Could be against Bilal, against Shavkat, against the JDM, whoever. I believe he moves up, and I think he wins the belt and he holds onto the belt for a long time. I think he's one of the greatest fighters of all time. Definitely the greatest lightweight of all time, which will be coming up in a video soon to come. So I have him as a champ, no brainer here. If he's in this division, whatever division he's competing in Islam, he will be the champ. Joaquin Buckley, number 1 contender. I think he will reign at number 1 for a while. I think he develops a lot, improves his game, and he beats the who's who at welterweight, and I think he'll stay at the top. I'm not sure exactly number 1 contender, but welterweight is a very stacked division, man. I mean, even the honourable mentions, they could be number 1 contenders in themselves. Number 2, I've got Bilal Muhammad. I think he would have lost the belt. He's getting up there in age. I don't think he'll be fighting very often. Just staying there in the area. Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think the hype gym would have dialed down. I think he would have picked up a few losses to the likes of Bilal, maybe a Buckley, maybe a Makhachev at that point. Ian Gary, I hate Ian Gary. I think he's a big knob, a little self-glazing little prick, but I do think he's a very good fighter. I mean, that performance against Bratis was a complete shutdown. But yeah, and I've got Carlos Braches, number 5. I mean, he is very good. A lot of people are shitting on him for that performance against Ian Gary, but he is very good. I think he makes it back to the division. I mean, makes it back to the top of the division here. Honourable mention, I've got Sean Brady. I mean, this is why I'm not sure, because Sean Brady, I mean, this man's number 1 ranked at the minute, and I'm saying he's going to be number 6 or something like that. I'm not sure. That's why it's very competitive. I've got Michael Morales I think he's got development. I think if he beats Gilbert Burns, this would be a good shout. And I've got JDM. I'm not really sure about not having JDM in there. I mean, it's so. I mean, everyone in the welterweight division is so skilled, and that's the problem. I mean, it's a very good division. It's improved a lot in recent times from that Covington era, and that Usman era. But that is my sayings on 170 pounds. Onto the middleweight division now, 185 pounds. I have Khamzat Chimaev as champion. I think he runs the division over. I think he beats Duplessis. He beats all these other guys at 185. I think it's just inevitable till this guy becomes champ. I can't wait for that fight with Duplessis. I think in 2 years, the winner of that fight will still be reigning, and I have Chimaev winning that fight. I think they're just so above the rest of the division. And then I have Duplessis, #1 contender, Max Holloway style, in his prime, #1 contender, just beating the guys, failing to become champ. Once again though, I've got Anthony Hernandez. I mean, Anthony Hernandez is legit, man. He's really good. He's got a nasty grappling game, a nasty striking game. Anthony Hernandez, very, very good prospect. #3, I've got Caio Baralho. Caio Baralho is a very, very good fighter. I mean, he's well-rounded. He's not as exciting as the other fighting nerds, but he's the best one. I think he gets the farthest out of any of them. He's very, very good, Caio Baralho. I think he'll be there in the middleweight division, picking up wins, maybe a few losses, but doing what he needs to do. Nasruddin Imavov, I mean, I just think he'll be there. Nothing significant, you know. Beats Brendan Allen, loses to Anthony Hernandez, you know, might bounce back with a win over Vittoria, something like that. I don't know if they'll be around in 2 years, but yeah. And I also have Reina de Ridder, and I think people are overlooking Reina de Ridder, especially after this recent win over Bo Nickel. I mean, everyone's saying Bo Nickel shit, and I agree. Bo Nickel gave up in that fight against de Ridder. Showed he's not a fighter, but de Ridder looked awesome, and I've been a supporter of de Ridder even during that GM3 fight when he lost to GM3. I mean, that was a very close fight, but de Ridder, I think, he's like a Duplessis. Everyone says he's shit, and all of a sudden he's got gold around his waist. I don't think he'll ever become a champ, but I think he'll be there in 2 years' time, like a staple at #5 in the division. Honourable mentions, I've got Sean Strickland. I think Strickland has peaked. I don't think he's getting anywhere else in the division. Aliskerov, I mean, this man's not ranked right now, but I think he could be lingering around 8th or 9th. He's only lost in his MMA career to Khamzat Chimaev and Robert Whittaker. Can't really judge him off that, in my opinion. And Roman Kopylov, I'm not really sure about this one. He's got a fight against Paulo Costa next. He definitely wins that. Kopylov is very well-rounded, man. I mean, he's only lost to Anthony Hernandez, really. He is very, very good, Roman Kopylov, and that is my says on the 185-pound division. Like, heavyweight, my people, getting onto the big boys now. I've got Magomed Ankalaev to be the champ. I think he beats Pereira in the rematch, and even if he doesn't beat Pereira in the new rematch, he's going to become champion. Pereira would have moved up or retired by then. Magomed Ankalaev, champion of 205. I just believe he just dominates. He gets it done. Maybe not dominant, but he gets it done. I've got Yuri Prohaska, and I just feel he'll be what he is now, falling short when it comes to the big opportunity, but beating these other guys lingering around the top 5. I've got Carlos Ulberg, #2. He stays in the mix at 205. I don't think he will do anything special. He didn't look that great against Jan Blachowicz. In my opinion, he lost that fight. I mean, Amisal Murzakhanov, he is a very good prospect. I think it will take a while for him to get into the top 5. He's undefeated right now. He beats Johnny Walker. He might lose a fight then, but after 2 years' time, I believe he will pick up a big win, maybe over someone in the division at the time, maybe Jamal Hill, Khalil Roundtree, that are lingering in that top 3 position. I think he beat one of them. And Zhang Mingyang, the big dense head himself, I believe he will be a champion one day. I think after Magomed goes, I think he will be a champ. Zhang Mingyang is a very dangerous motherfucker, bro. And Dominic Reyes, I think Dominic Reyes will be there. I don't think he'll become champ. I think he'll get a streak, he'll fight against Ankalaev, he'll lose, and he'll be in a situation where he's 5th. If someone else wins, he might drop to 6th, and then he's back 5th. I think he'll be somewhere like that. And honourable mentions, I've got Jamal Hill and Khalil Roundtree. I mean, just, you know, they're doing it in the division right now. I think they could still be there in 2 years' time as well. And I've got Bogdan Guskov. I mean, I don't think he's that good, but I'm looking at the list of 205s right now, and there's not much potential, not much prospect in that division. And that is it for 205. Not the best division, but let's move on to the final division, the big boy heavyweights. On to the heavyweight division, the final division, and it's obvious Tom Aspinall, the big Tommy Aspinall as the champ. I mean, he's dominant. He beats John, he beats everyone, and he beats everyone in under a minute as well. And this is what makes this man so special. I think Jayden Almeida will be the strong #1 contender. I think he is very good. I think would have developed a lot by then, and I think he will be there in the division doing it But not being Aspinall, we could give Aspinall a fight, but I don't know. No one gives Aspinall a fight in my eyes. I've been brainwashed. Even you could put a billion Alex Perez in front of him, and I think that just Aspinall can knock him down with a big club in right hand. You know what I mean? Alex Pereira, I've got him number 2. I think he's going to get to that older age and he's going to move up. It's inevitable in my opinion, Pereira moving up. But I think he's number 2 because I think he moves up against Aspinall for a belt. He loses that, but then he picks up a win over a Pavlovich or a Gon and gets that number 2 spot. Cyril Gon, I think Cyril Gon will be there. I mean, he's a very good fighter and he's got good grappling, good strike, and I think he would have developed a lot by then as well. Like he is now, just doing enough to stay in the heavyweight division, staying at the top of the division, taking a few robberies as well, the little knob. And Sergey Pavlovich, similar. I think he'll be doing like what he's been doing, beating a Jairzinho, beating these bums, but not beating the top of the division. I think he's hit his prime, Pavlovich, but we could see a second coming. He's very young, and I think Nemkov coming in from Bellator, I think he would have come in and just won one big fight, and in the heavyweight division, that's all you need. And I would have put him right at the top, in my opinion. Honourable mentions, I think Volkov will still be there. I mean, I could have him in there instead of Gon, but he is old. But it doesn't matter, at heavyweight you can be old, I guess, to an extent. Shimur Gaziev, the big blob, the meal deal himself, I think he'll still be there at heavyweight. And I think he'll be 6th, 7th ranked in the division. And Cortez Acosta, I think he's underrated, he's being overlooked right now. He's currently sitting at 11th in the division with Shimur Gaziev number 12. I think they'll both be around 6th, 7th, maybe 5th in the division. And that is it, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the video of me predicting the top 5 in every division in 2 years' time. Please leave a like, subscribe, all of the good stuff. And I'll see you next time. Thank you very much.